Malaysia could never have imagined that its year as the chair of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, would be so challenging. The perennial concerns over troubles in Myanmar have been overshadowed by armed conflict between neighbours Thailand and Cambodia, and by the Trump administration's threat to hit the region's members with tariffs of up to 49%. Rather than driving a wedge between the members or shaking support for globalization and trade liberalization, the US actions have done the opposite, as affirmed at the recent meeting of the economic ministers from members of ASEAN and the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP.
We underscored our shared commitment to uphold a free, fair, inclusive, rules-based and non-discriminatory multilateral trading system with WTO principles at its core.
Not only are RCEP's 15 member states pledging to deepen ties, several countries and territories are applying to join the world's biggest trade pact.
So it's just a matter of time, getting the parameters right to make sure that parties that come and join us are of the same mind and having the same basic principles of wanting to promote trade and regional integration.
China and ASEAN, meanwhile, have agreed to upgrade their existing free trade agreement, aiming to further boost trade and investment and targeting emerging sectors like the digital and green economies.
ASEAN has comprehensively displaced the EU as China's greatest trading partner, currently up to 142% of EU-China trade and almost 190% of China-US trade. So this is going to go on continually.
None of this means that ASEAN will spurn trade or investment from the US, but analysts say that relations between the bloc and America moving forward will be tempered by a new sense of wariness.
ASEAN countries are trying to sort of realign their supply chains to buffer against the impact of the trade war. That is the short-term impact. I think the medium and long-term impact is this: the kind of trust that we had on the US and more broadly the Western-led economic order has been seriously undermined. ASEAN has always resisted this idea of a zero-sum sort of calculus, that you choose one at the expense of the other. We do not see it that way. We see that it benefits all. It benefits both sides and also ASEAN as well.
I think the balance, is very, very important. As an example, during the recent Thailand and Cambodia fiasco, I think the Prime Minister of Malaysia calling both China representative and also United States representatives so that both of these nations are part of this particular ceasefire deal.
Despite recent rebukes and even threats from the US, ASEAN countries have sought to forge new connections beyond the West, notably through the BRICS bloc. ASEAN leaders such as Malaysia's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim have also voiced support for Chinese President Xi Jinping's calls for greater South-South cooperation, as well as the Global Governance Initiative.
So we of course support this, a balanced, moderate position based on justice, on compassion, on humanity, rules anchored in law, cooperation,